Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinker and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, as you see, it looks like we're going to be jumping right from one collaboration right into another as we prepare to say farewell to the second run of the Digimon collaboration and its anniversary over on the Digimon end. Looks like Imagineer has something else planned up its sleeve as we kind of prepare to hype up for Medarot Day, and it looks like as well they're trying to keep their hand very close to their chest on what exactly it is that they have announced and incoming as well on the official Medarot channel. But with that being said, there is still quite a bit to find. While this may not be very impressive or exciting for a lot of seasoned vets, this is still a very exciting collaboration that we've not seen since early last year in 2023, so very surprised to see it back up and going, but still very exciting and looking forward to all the rewards all the same. But with that being said, there still were a handful of other surprises that were officially being dropped in addition to the rerun of the Gridman Universe collaboration. So let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced, because there is actually quite a bit of stuff to talk about this week that was incoming or that will be incoming in general. But of course, I am going to step aside here as we say hello to the models that are incoming, just to kind of go over all these models again for brief review. Starting us up over on the far end is GDM0 Full Power Grid, with the kits of Fight Full Charge, Hyper Charge Blade, Break Rush, Biped Legs, and Pupa. Very powerful, self-synergetic, and self-sufficient CG-reliant fighter that can absolutely hit like a truck and cut down anything in its path once it's fully charged and ready to go. Behind him, we have GDM01 Grid Burn Knight with Anti-Jammer, Anti-Float, Tsujigiri, Flight Legs, and Elusive. Now, honestly, and this was even the case back with the first collaboration run as well, Grid Burn Knight is the model that you absolutely want to pull for as well, exclusively for Anti-Float, if not anything else there in the mix. Primarily because with a lot of boss-type bots that we have currently in-game that are float-legged, and no real way to counter them, this is going to be your ace in the hole to really cut them down to size, instead of having to beat your head against a wall trying to brute force them. And the addition of Anti-Jammer does also negate the weakness of Anti-Air or Anti-Sea, or by extension Anti-Float as well for anyone on his team that is float-legged, so very useful all the same there for both coverage and backside penetration and countering. After him, we have GDM02 Kaiser Grid with the kits of Self-Restore, Inferno, Microwave, Float Legs, and Revenger. Of the four models here, this one probably will be the one you won't pull for the most, unless it's the last model that you're possibly missing. Primarily because while the power output is most certainly there between Inferno and Microwave, given that both parts are also CG reliant for bonus power, it's gonna be kinda hard to use those at their highest capacity with no CG sustain in and of himself. Self-Restore and Revenger will absolutely work remarkably well, but Kaiser Grid by himself, he does need a little bit of time in order to actually get himself up to speed. And last but not least, GDM03 Grid Universe, with Big Bang, Charge Sonic, ACG Shot, Biped Legs, and Confront. Behind Grid Burn Knight, this one's probably going to be the next model you're going to want to shoot for the most. Primarily because, as a friendly reminder, Big Bang, upon attacking a part at full HP, and just to clarify, the enemy's part needs to be at full HP, it has a 70% chance to insta-break it upon attacking them. Inversely, if you attack somebody that has a damaged part, you instead will be healing them for the amount of damage you would have sustained instead. And Confront Legs also mean that gives him very good solid leg stats plus and coverage against anyone that has any charge reliancy over him. So inversely to other models such as Full Power Grid or Kaiser Grid to a point, Grid Universe, on the other hand, reveled in not having a CG charge on himself, or even if he does, he doesn't really need a lot compared to other models which will be a little more heavy on the sustain. That being said, as you see here, these models will be sticking around pretty much right up to Medarot Day itself on 11/28. So it looks like this is mostly going to be a filler while they're keeping their hand close to their chest and still preparing for some last-minute stuff on the back end for their supposed really big announcement they have on 11/28 itself. In terms of pull priority, pretty much like I said here, as far as who you want and in what order, Grid Burn Knight absolutely for Anti-Float and Anti-Jammer if you do snag it. Grid Universe for mostly just non-CG based coverage and Big Bang, full power grid for your self-sufficient melee fighters, charge reliance melee fighters, and Kaiser Grid mostly just to kind of fill you up on the back end once you have everybody else. Now, this is not the only thing that was officially announced for this week, though, and well, although this was really just the big thing in particular. So I'm going to step right back in here real quick as we move further along. Now, as far as other new models are concerned, we actually are going to be seeing 2 brand new faces joining the game as well that will be sticking around alongside the Gridman Universe rerun. These 2 models are returnees from the days of Medarot Duel on the Nintendo 3DS, and that is APN-0 Iliaco Force with a kit of Hyper Laser, Static, Power Sword, Biped Legs, and Brilliance, and ATM-0 Figaro Force with Hyper Break, Power Sword, Static, Float Legs, and Illusion. So honestly, I'm kind of shocked that they have not implemented these 2 yet, but given that they are officially giving them the first ever instances that are not collaborations of Hyper Laser, Hyper Break, and Power Sword, I guess now's just as good of a time as any to introduce these 2 as a set, just kind of serve as filler material with the current collaboration rerun, just to kind of keep things exciting and in the mix. But it is still exciting all the same for the kind of skills they bring to the table, because all 3 skills mentioned are actually quite powerful at first glance and even at further research, and Static as well is a fantastic move as well for its ability to cut down basically any enemy armor by 50%, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Even if it's not able to break things on its own, Static is still a fantastic addition to any team that needs to cut shielders and tanks down to size. Now, as far as other stuff is concerned, as for boosted rates, now, these boosted rates will be applying to every banner across the board that will be going live over the next couple weeks. But we do have some other returnees from the days of Medarot Duel as well, making some boosted rates as well in the pool. This time around, we have RED-01 Chaparral Rouge with Repair, Shoot Boost, Mega Gatling, Biped Legs, and Trigger Happy. And we have ARN-0 Hellweaver with Shoot Trap, Thunder Shot, Napalm, Multi-Legs, and Nest. And in the days that Max Shot has most certainly been dominating the PvP and the competitive league, Shoot Trap, pretty much any time that you can get it and anywhere you can get it, basically speaks for itself on just how powerful it can be in the right hands. And as a friendly reminder, as you see here, Chaparral Rouge, also much like her twin, Little Lacey, the Alice in Wonderland type, are both capable of tune-ups. So just be sure that if you do end up collecting on Chaparral Rouge, you do have access to some bigger bonuses that you can pull for all the same and make use of and capitalize as much as you can. Now, moving forward though, since we are still kind of chugging along here, as far as fierce battles are concerned, it's going to be a pretty high variety week as well for males and females, as you see here. Starting us up on this top row is CLA-01 Kanahachi Mark II with Triple Hold, Multi-Legs, and Mariner as a leg ability. We have GBG-01 Fret Beat with Fight Boost, Beam Sword, Fire, Biped Legs, and Generator, and GBB-01 Slap Beat with Shoot Boost, Beam, Thunder Shot, Flight Legs, and Radiator. On this bottom row, we have a GBD-01 Blast Beat with a Guard Boost, Double Break Hammer, Tank Legs, and Barrier. SGT-0 Sagittarius with Suction, Defense and Evade, Seal, Flight Legs, and Hidden. And last but not least, KIN-0 Kintaro with Press, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and Endurance. So honestly, it was kind of hard to pick an MVP of the week because, again, it is a very high variety, and there's always at least 1 or 2 models you can make incredible use of no matter where you use them or how often you use them, even if they're there just for filler parts. But I do honestly have to give an MVP of the week to Fret Beat, primarily for the fact that Beam Sword is still pretty hard to ignore with its damage modifiers and its passive piercing on top of that. So if you pair it off with something such as, say, Full Charge or Fight Full Charge for females, you can most certainly capitalize on that high damage output very easily, even if this part does require a little more investment to raise across the board. Everyone else is still just as viable across the board as well. Kanahachi Mark II for multi-legs, and Mariner for sea-leg for aquatic terrain compatibility. Slap Beat for Thunder Shot as well. Blast Beat for double break hammer or barrier if you need those. Sagittarius for defense or evade, seal, or even suction if you want crowd control. And Kintaro, of course, if you just want the resident champion in your team, just to kind of add a little bit of an intimidation factor to the enemy that's facing you. But moving forward as well, moving on to event-based stuff, much like it was with the last run of collaboration, we are also seeing a rerun of the Medarotters that coincide with it. But this time, instead of seeing them spread across 1 or 2 banners, we're going to be getting all 4 of them in one single banner this time around. But just as a friendly reminder for the skills they offer across the board, and as I'm just kind of doing them based by character here, starting from the far left with Shiden. Shiden in particular will reduce damage by 10% on activation and buff your evade by 60% if you're using Flight Lane. So if you're planning to use Grid Burn Knight, well, there you go, free instant evade there once his skill is activated. Kazumi will buff your right arm or drive B damage for every consecutive use up to 5 stacks, and will also boost your crit rate by 60% on activation. So also very good for your right arm or drive B spam based on how you put your kit together. Hiyori will buff your evade relative to 80% of your charge gauge fill, and more so if you're using biped lane. So again, much more on the case of if you want to stay on the dodge build game, he is also a very good Medarot to hold on to as well. And we also have Hikaru, who buffs success by 300 and heat by 100 for every shooting skill used up to 5 stacks. So again, another right arm drive B spammer here that can be put to very good use. And you will see all 4 in a new rerun banner once the event does go live starting this Thursday. Now, as far as event stuff is concerned, again, this one's not really going to be anything new to any seasoned veterans who've been playing for longer than a year at this point. But to all the new players who are just coming in, especially with the eclipse and advent of the Digimon rerun, which brought a lot, and I mean a lot of new coverage and a lot of new players and friends that are joining the mix, this will be a really good opportunity for you guys to pick up some extra medals and some extra help on the way to kind of give you a little bit more flexibility and skin in the game going forward with your team builds. But with this particular collaboration rerun, we have the opportunity to earn, or re-earn, the Fighter Medal, which has a mastery in fight and melee, support and shooting, and leg mastery in biped, wheel, and C. We have the Monster Medal with shooting, healing, and setup with wheel, tank, and float legs, and the Designer Medal with melee, shooting, and support with biped, tank, and flight lane. So between those 3 alone, which are 2 power natures and a speed nature medal, lots of fantastic coverage you could use there as well for your passives and for any builds you're trying to put together. You can also earn Medarotters Fubuki and Kirara. Both are also wearing cosplay outfits for this particular collaboration as well. R rank, of course, so nothing overly impressive, but still worth it for the bonuses all the same. And we can also earn profile banners that were previously available from the first run, featuring, as you see here, Full Power Grid, Kit Grid Kaiser, Bird Knight, and of course Grid Universe himself. And we also can earn some more limited gacha tickets to keep ourselves in the game, with extra Cyplasium coverage on the side. So lots of events in particular to be found, and lots of rewards as well. Now, as far as this event is concerned and how it's going to be portrayed, it is going to be a ticket base. So bonuses are going to stack per part equipped across the team. So as you see here for the blue and silver ticket bonuses, Luminous Stag, Parallel Deuce, and Chaparral Rouge will give you a +3 per bar each across the team. Iliako Force at a +2 and 3 of the Fierce Battles. Kanahachi Mark II, Fret Beat, and Blast Beat at +1, each for the respective parts. For Medarotters, the standard SR versions of Kazumi, Shiden, and Arase will give you a +3. The R rank of those plus standard Fubuki will give you a +2, and the standard N rank of those will give you a +1. For the silver ticket bonuses, Grid Universe and Grid Burn Knight will give you a +3 silver ticket bonus each, and Iliako Force will be dueling at a +2 silver ticket bonus as well. For the Medarotters, the collab versions of Kazumi and Shiden will give you a +3, and the event R rank version of Fubuki will give you a +2 for the silver ticket. But we are not done yet, because it looks like they're going to be double featuring this over the next 2 weeks. The red ticket bonuses, on the other hand, it'll be a +3 bonus for God Emperor, Hellweaver, or Kaiser Beetle for those 3 for the red ticket bonuses, a +2 for Figaro Force, and a +1 for the remaining 3 Fierce Battles going on this week. The Medarotters, relatively same case. The standard non-collab SR versions of Hikaru, Hiyori, and Hisaki will give you a +3 for the red tickets. The end rank, the standard R rank versions of those plus Hiyori will give you a +3, a +2, and the N ranks a +1. The gold bonuses, as you see, Full Power Grid and Kaiser Grid going for the mecha bonuses here at a +3, and Figaro Force dueling at +2. The Hiyori and Hikaru at a +3 for their collab skins, and a +2 for Hikaru for Kirawa's bonus skin as well. Whew. It's honestly kind of believe they're going for double bonuses this time around over these next 2 weeks, so it does kind of leave one to question what exactly are they planning for these next couple of weeks to kind of keep things on the down low leading up to Medarot Day. But going forward as well, we are also seeing a rerun of the previous event collab Super Invasions as well, featuring all 4 of the models. So if you're looking for some free 20 rubies and 2 profile plates, these are also going to be available at your disposal over these next couple weeks as well. I do highly encourage, if you have not gone after these, I do encourage that you please do so, because with these banners, when these profile plates close, you will not have a chance to earn them again. And like I said, free rubies and Cyplasium is really tough to argue yourself out of, especially because most of the time these collab Super Invasions are just overclocked enemies. So go in with your best teams, go in and out, sweep it in 10 minutes, and you're done and ready to go with the next thing coming forward. One other thing to mention is that they are kind of emulating a little bit of what happened with the previous collaboration, though, with a very special paid bundle that is available in the game store only. So this will not be available on the web store, but it is a very special paid ticket with a handful of rubies. And much like it was with the Digimon collaboration, guaranteeing you either Omega Knight or Grey Wars at a 50% random chance when pulling, this one will give you a 25% chance for a guaranteed pull of any of the 4 collaboration models. So if you do not have any of them whatsoever, this is a good opportunity to basically get one for free, even if it is random, if you're able to make any purchases in the store. If not, do make sure that you can take a look at our technical support channel and ask around and see what needs done with the VPN finagling to really get that done. If you don't worry about it, don't sweat it, but it is there, and I do appreciate that Imagineer is trying to throw us a bone here, especially with only a 2-week rerun of this collaboration and not the course of a full month going forward. Now, one other thing game-related as far as is concerned is that Static is also getting a quality of life buff going forward that was announced. Just kind of go figure with Iliako and Figaro Force both having it this week as well. But to explain Static briefly, as you see here, basically upon attacking the part in question, it will cut the HP of that part down to 50% of its total remaining HP, and it cannot break parts. It is actually incapable of breaking parts on its own. So this is very good for cutting down any shielders or high bulk enemies on the other side of the field, so that something can come up behind them and really cut them down quickly after 1 or 2 swipes. Think of it basically like Super Fang in Pokemon, where it's guaranteed 50% of that, and half of that, and half of that, and so on until something else can knock them out. Now, the buff that Static will be getting, though, is that it is going to be removing the no dodge and no defend penalty on cooldown, which means that you can fire this baby off without any worry whatsoever, and not have to worry about getting slapped on the back end for a preparatory blow, which will make taking down a lot of high shielders and defenders a whole lot easier, like I said before, now that you don't have to worry about getting punished in your cooldown if you get caught on the back end. One last really big announcement as far as the games thing is concerned. Like I said, they've been keeping this relatively close to their chest as far as announcements and hints and clues are concerned. But the only thing that they really have stated in the previous few weeks is the fact that regular coverage for, say, new stuff or incoming stuff from Medarot S will be continuing as normal and as planned, according to Mr. Producer-san, on 11/26 as normal. But they will be having a very special program on 11/28, which is Medarot Day, with quote-unquote something that will reveal something that will supposedly far exceed expectations. We really have no clue what this is. It could be a new game, it could be a manga, it could be a new anime. We have no clue, genuinely no clue whatsoever. The only clues we have is the fact that they've been apparently working on this for about 4 years now, through the whole trademark lawsuit and everything that has been ongoing since 2020. They wanted to reveal it, and they did tease a little bit more of a reveal last year with Medarot Day 2023. So I guess all I can say is just wait and see, and I will be sure to provide a very special coverage both on Medarot Day itself, where I announce the winners for our contest, and as well have a special coverage for whatever they choose to announce on the official channel as well. But moving forward to community-based stuff, as always, we are always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors. With Medarot 3 finished, there is a lot of work being put towards Medarot 4 right now, and a new revived effort towards working on the translated manga. So if you are knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese or typesetting, or if you know somebody that might be willing to lend a hand, feel free to ask around, join our Discord in the link provided below, ask around, and we'll most certainly try to get you in touch with the right people, fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done. Medarot 4 has a lot, and I mean a lot of text that will need translated, even more so than Medarot 3. So the more people that we have assisting with this, the lot faster it'll go, and the easier it'll become, and the sooner that we can learn the final continuation of the Ikki saga and the story behind Ikki and Metabee. Now, speaking of contests, though, since I did allude to it previously, we are now 1 week out from the Project Rising Beetle Ori Meta contest coming to an end. We've only seen a handful of entries so far, so I'm just a little bummed that you guys haven't been taking this as fervently and as excitably as I was hoping for, but we still saw a bunch of really exciting and very creative designs all the same. And I'm hoping you guys are going to absolutely knock my socks off as I look over them going into this next couple weeks and officially announce a winner. Just as a friendly reminder for those that want to join and submit a design, it is themed around role-playing games with no real limit on a number of submissions you can do, bar certain rules that are listed. So feel free to ask me, join our Discord, and submit your entry, and I will be more than happy to look over them as I announce a winner on my week of Medarot Day coverage on 11/26. And then, of course, hopefully, if all plans work well, special coverage on Medarot Day itself, around whatever this strange special announcement will be. One final thing to mention as well is a final reminder of my very special collaboration that is incoming. I've been planning this very immensely special collaboration for about 2 months now, actually just a little bit more than that if I'm being honest, but I have a lot of special guests with me. Join me on November 16th, this coming Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, for a very special, well-prepared presentation on what is Medarot. All the questions, all the answers, and even more information that was previously unknown to us Western fans, finally in the open that we can all learn from and just truly understand what the story of Medarot is behind the scenes and what we never had a chance to see. Alongside myself, I also have several very, very dear friends of mine that will be joining me for this collaboration as well. So make sure that you do tune in as well, even if not for me, to hang out with my dear friends Sane, Gold, Agent Toad, Helm-chan, and Vector. So I am excited, I am positively giddy at the bit, and it's been very hard to try to keep this on the down low and keep my hands to my chest for the information that I've been putting together for this. So please do make sure you tune in this Saturday, and even invite your friends and pass along word. The stream is officially up on my YouTube, by the way, so do make sure you go back and link that as well. Hold on to it and get notified when it does officially go live over the weekend. But that does basically cover everything for this week's episode. So like I said, a whole lot of stuff to cover as far as new stuff is concerned, collab reruns, and just a couple other miscellaneous pieces of news in between. But that being said, though, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on there, which is just getting ready to peak over 40,000 members. And I'm so proud and excited and shocked, honestly, that it honestly skyrocketed to such a massive member count in such a short amount of time. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, my weekly coverage, or anything else of the like. The Discord server is the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter at Isagami-kura, so feel free to say hello, drop a DM. I'm also on Blue Sky, by the way, if you decided to abandon the Bird app and move there as well. So don't be a stranger, stop on by and say hello. Same can be said if you're a content creator looking to collaborate, whether that means having you here on my channel. Just feel free to ask, or me stopping in on yours for a friendly chat or a game. I would absolutely love to coordinate and hear from you. Lastly, as a final note, and just as a preamble leading up to my collaboration on Saturday, do make sure you follow my dear friends as well, Sane, Gold, Vector, Toad, and Helm-chan. Definitely give all of them a follow and support. Tell them that your old pal Kura sent you their way. and just keep in touch with anything that they work on their respective channels. So I'm very much so looking forward to having them here on the MNN with me, as much as I am with the rest of you all as well, for something I'm not necessarily going to call my magnum opus, but I'll put it this way, as a final parting note. This collaboration that is upcoming this Saturday, it is a very long time coming. The preparation was only a couple months, but I've been wanting to do this for a very, very long time. And I'm equal parts nervous and excited for it, because there's just so much to cover in it, so much exciting news, and everything else in between, and being able to turn it into a discussion-based thing with friends. I'm really hoping that this is going to be one for the books, one that any Medarotters will be able to look to at basically any time, send to their friends if they want to learn all the ins and outs of Medarot as well, on what it is and its history. And I want this to be a year that we can come together as a community to really, truly celebrate Medarot Day 2024, and just all the years of support and history that this series has given us. So please do make sure that you get notified and tune in with me on November 16th, this Saturday, so that you can be a part of something truly spectacular, with all the effort and love, not just from my end, but also with the support of you all and my dear friends as well. I am very excited, and I hope to have you all there as well for this very special moment. But that being said, as always, I do appreciate for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.